All right, welcome everybody. This is the Ask the Marketing Expert series. Lance Luke here with Martin Pea. We have an interesting topic, AI, your blogging accelerator. And this is mainly for small business owners, entrepreneurs, and marketers, people who want to get the word out. So let's continue. This webinar is presented by Expert Media Matters, which is a digital marketing and business consulting company located in Honolulu, Hawaii. The interesting thing about internet marketing is we can be anywhere in the world and still conduct business. We don't need a permanent office, although we do have one, but we can operate anywhere as long as we have internet connection and a device, smartphone, laptop, iPad or something like that. We can still do business. That's one of the benefits of this kind of business. And then I got a photo here of me and the famous Jack Canfield, who, if you don't know who he is, he's the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul book. And I have an announcement that I got invited to participate in Jack's upcoming book, which is called Mindset Matters. So I'm going to be participating with maybe 20, 25 other business owners, writing chapters in this compilation book that's going to be released sometime this year. So I'm looking forward to that. That sounds interesting and a lot of fun. And why don't we put this webinar series on, which is Ask the Expert series. We do it to help small business owners and entrepreneurs build, manage, and market online. That's what we're all about. Today's topic, as I mentioned, is AI, which is artificial intelligence, your blogging accelerator. So what are we going to be talking about today? We're going to be talking about blogs. And someone asked me, well, what's a blog and how did the term blog come about? Well, when people were putting information online on their websites, it was called a web blog, and then somehow it just got changed into just blog instead of a web blog. So blogging is like the act of putting information online. A blogger is someone who actually is doing the typing or generating the information and then posting it online. So there's thousands and thousands of blogs out there, and I have several which I'm going to talk about later. But basically, a blog is it's sort of like I see it, and here's how I use my blogs. I see it as like, instead of talking to somebody verbally, right, you're doing it in writing. So like this webinar, we're talking to people verbally, so we don't really need to write anything, right? So on a blog, I treat it as providing information, and the objective is to use it and be informal and also conversational. So even if you're using AI to help generate the content, you don't want the blog, when people are reading it, to sound like a robot talking, right? Or somebody talking that's not in your own voice. And what I mean is, in your own voice, it's how you sound, what words you use, and how do you express your opinions, your phrases, and those kind of things. So there's a big difference, and people can tell. I can tell if AI wrote a blog or if the person actually wrote the blog by, once I know the conversational tone of that person and all of a sudden it changes, then you know that something's up. It's not the same, right? So that's why I use AI to generate content, but I review it and I have to change it. But now, if AI gets trained and they know, how you speak, how you talk, and your tone, conversation, your demeanor, and all that, it can get it down pretty good. So I don't have to tweak it that much. So anyway, um, we're talking about using AI for content generation and uh, presentation, and also a big factor is personalization. You want to be personal. You want people to listen to you, and it takes an art and a skill to do that. Um, if you watch the news or you listen to the radio, there's these news and radio personalities. If they were boring and didn't have a voice that was pleasing, you're not going to want to listen to them, right? So that's the whole objective. And then the content has to be interesting. If you push out boring content, no matter how good you sound, people are not going to want to read it. And then the other thing is identify your target audience, right? If you're a blogger talking about, um, let's say, traveling, right? You got to appeal to the people who are going to read travel blogs, rather than another audience who don't like to travel and they rather play video games, let's say. Okay, so those are pretty important. So um, briefly, when you're talking about a blog, and you don't have to use AI, right? I didn't use AI last year and years before. I started using AI this year. Um, well, I take that back. I started using AI probably in December of last year, but it's been a time saver, and it's been a huge relief because it takes a while to come up with an idea, and then it takes some time to kind of create what you say in a rough draft. And I might have 5, 6 different drafts, continually revising it until I get one good blog article, and then find an image and all that. So what used to take me an hour or two now takes me 5, 10 minutes. So there's a big advantage. So couple of tips here. You define your objectives, identify suitable AI tools to use, and I use ChatGPT mainly. Understand your audience, know who your target audience is, because you don't want to be putting out a blog for everybody, right? Let's say you're writing a blog about cooking or recipes. You're not writing it for everybody, right? Auto mechanics, school teachers. You want to write it for people who are interested in cooking. Okay, so that's the idea. So understand who your target audience is, um, and then refine it, and then just start doing it, right? I I always wanted to have a blog for years, and I never could because I just couldn't figure out how to do it. So I hired somebody, and we use the WordPress platform, which is like the biggest blog platform um, out there. And then it just became too unmanageable for me to log on and go through all this rigmarole and all that. I just really couldn't do it. So I don't use WordPress. I just use Word. I have a team that actually does the research for all my blog articles. They send each article to me with the image, and then I either approve it or I tweak it, make changes, and send it back to them. And then it gets posted on my various websites and social media. So basically, that's what's happening. So let's get right into it. And we're talking about AI here, okay? The role of AI in accelerating blogging, content generation, like I mentioned before, it just come up with different pieces of content. If you don't like it, uh, send it back or just keep talking to AI to refine the post. Maybe you made it too broad. You got to kind of fine tune it and keep doing it so that it comes out the way you want. And then when it comes out the way you want, you can still uh, take what's AI generated and kind of mold it into your own, and then post it. Now, if it's really good and you don't have to make any final touches, then that's good too. So the AI can also, through keyword research and search engine optimization, help with what you're trying to achieve. And then the personality, your own person, your image, and what you want to say, make sure that it's consistent. So eventually you'll be able to train the chat GPT into your own voice, but it takes a while. In the beginning, it's frustrating because it's like, wait a minute, this is not what I asked for, right? So you got to keep refining it. So if you just give something too general and broad, that's what you're going to get back. And it's like, wait a minute, this is not what I really asked for, right? So keep those things in mind, and we'll continue the discussion here. Um, there's chat bots and user interaction. Now, how many times you go on a website for a company or whatever, and you can't talk to a live person, you end up chatting. Sometimes you're chatting with a bot. It's not even a real person. Okay. Sometimes you can tell, and sometimes you can't. And sometimes I try to ask questions and the chat bot doesn't understand, and it gives me back something that I go, okay, it's I'm not talking to a live human here. Okay, so keep that in mind. Social media management, AI can help with that. Also, image and video processing, that's becoming more prevalent now in image creation. Before, I just used to kind of grab images that I see from anywhere, right? And then I realized that I can't be stealing images that are copyrighted. So then I subscribe to uh, different platforms where there's images available that it's copyright free. Some you can get free off the internet. Some I pay for the service, and then I can go in and look at whatever images. So that's very, very important. Continuing on, you can use the AI for content editing, proofreading. I subscribe because I publish a lot of material. I have a couple of platforms that I use that does the editing and proofreading, and that helps. Okay, predictive analytics, and then time management. The time management portion personally saves me a lot of time, because if I have to sit down for, let's say, 2 hours, and how many blog posts can I write, or how many social media posts can I write in that time? Sometimes it's only one, sometimes it's zero, because I'm not, you have writer's block maybe, or you just can't really think of what you want to say. You write one sentence down and say, here's the subject title, and then you can't think of the rest, right? So uh, the AI doesn't give up. You can keep asking it questions, and it'll keep giving you answers until you get to the answer you need, or you give up, right? And um, you just have to train it, right? Like with anything. So let's talk about the NLP. If you heard of NLP, it means natural language processing. And this is a key concepts and tools when you're dealing with AI. Okay, your natural language processing, machine learning algorithms, chatbots, and virtual assistants. and recommended systems. Now, you don't have to, if you're like, oh, I'm not into learning all this gobbledygook and whatever, these algorithms, chatbots, who cares about all that? All I needed, I just want a blog. I just want to, make a blog and post it so I can educate people and help promote my company, my business, and that's going to be helping with my brand. Okay, fine. So you don't really have to know these things, but it's good to know about it. Because I have a team of assistants that help me, I don't need to know any of this stuff. All I need to know is, okay, team, here's some subject matters that I want my blog to talk about. Now, go and create some articles that I can review and approve or disapprove, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so it's a whole system. Now, if you don't have a team like Martin and I do, you can do it yourself. And that's basically how I started myself. And let me talk about social media. Now, when you're posting on social media, that's sort of like posting a blog. If you're posting something on Facebook, let's say, and you're typing information about something that you want to say, and then you attach an image, that's a social media post. A blog post is similar, but it's normally longer, right? And it's okay to post a blog and then have people ask questions after they read it, or say, wait a minute, I think one sentence is incorrect. I don't necessarily agree with you. So it could be the start of a conversation. Some more key concepts and tools. Pay attention to image, and you want to use video if you can. Sentiment analysis, content of optimization tools, and here we go, analytics and data visualization. Wow, I don't want to get too technical because basically just create a blog, use AI, create a blog, post it up, and then see what happens. Okay, then continuing on, we got generative AI models, automated social media management, content editing assistance, predictive analytics tools. Well, my team handles all of that. I don't have to worry about it too much. And then let's go into AI blogging in action. Some real world examples of successful AI enhanced blogs. So number one, we got LinkedIn's collaborative articles. So in every social media platforms, you can find some blogs, and usually it's experts. Sometimes people aren't even experts, but they keep pushing out their blogs, and all of a sudden, one day they become an expert because they're pushing out so much information, and they have success at creating an audience. So that's one. Here's another one, a company called Bankrate. They post blogs, and if you go and read it, there's information. Sometimes if you do like a Google search, right? The Google may bring up a blog that was written by this company. And sometimes that's pretty cool, right? You heard of the brother who makes printers and things like that. They have their own blog. And so they use their blog for advertising too. So it's not only an ad that they're placing, but they use ChatGPT to write an article that it's actually an ad that they pay, right, to post online. And so there's different methods that you could use the AI for. Okay, some uh, how to implement AI in your blogging strategy, practical steps and tips. Okay, and this is exactly what I do, and what Martin does too. Define your objectives. Well, what do you want to say? Okay, what do you want to say? What do you want to tell the world? Uh, why are you doing it? Are you just trying to promote your service or your business or your products? Are you trying to educate? If you just do promotions, guess what? Your blog post becomes ads, and then people may get turned off. So the idea is you want to inform and educate. That's your objective. Inform and educate. After you do that, at the end, you might have a blurb, for additional information, contact us or visit our website or stop by a restaurant or visit our store or something like that. Okay, the next thing is identify suitable AI tools. There's a whole bunch of tools out there, right? There's not only ChatGPT, there's other forms that are similar to ChatGPT, and every week there's something new coming out. So it's not really a monopoly, although in a way it kind of is because you got your major players and that are basically, running the system right now. As I mentioned before, understand your audience, right? You're gonna you're gonna make your blog and make it personal as if you're talking to one person or a little group of people in your living room. And that's the way I see it, right? And then it becomes more personal. You're not trying to make this announcement to 124 million people and have some kind of 30-second Super Bowl ad. Okay. So understand who your audience is. You're not going to be blogging for every person to be reading. You want to be in your niche. Okay. And then that way you have a better defined idea of your objectives, right? It's a lot easier to write for your target audience than to write for everybody and anybody. And then, implement content generation tools, optimize for SEO. Sometimes the way that you use certain words, it's automatically optimized. Integrate chat box for interaction. While I haven't gotten to that point yet, although my R&D, research and development, Martin and I are working on that. I'm actually training now with my personal AI. So once it's get it to the point where I think it's trained enough, then I'm gonna put it out there. But right now, it's not ready yet. Personalize user experience, automate social media management, and experiment with image and video processing. So right now, I'm using AI to generate images or to find images for me for my social media posts and blog posts. Okay, I'm slowly experimenting with the video side of it, although haven't used it that much. Sometimes we're making social media posts to promote webinars, and then we're using AI for that. Um, and I'm continuing to do research and think probably by the end of this year, I'll have all that in order, and then you can see it in action. That's going to be fun. Utilize analytics for informed decisions. Incorporate predictive analytics. Regularly update AI models. Well, that's basically being done as we speak. So there's kind of a battle going on between all these AI companies, right? So sometimes I just sit back and wait. Um, and then when it comes out, then that's when I jump in. So we have EMM Lucky 7 tips. And what's EMM? Well, EMM is Expert Media Matters. And so this is going to be a takeaway that we're going to post on our website for you guys to print out and use as reference. I know some people print some of these out and it's taped to their file cabinet by their desk, or they have a folder that they keep all these and they can refer to it. So AI, your blogging accelerator, know your niche, optimize for SEO magic, engage with AI tools, craft eye-catching headlines. And I like to pat myself on the back for creating nice headlines. And now I'm actually competing with ChatGPT. And because I'm thinking that I'm pretty good at making headlines, not only for social media posts and blog posts, but also chapters in a book or even a book title. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job, except the last go around, I needed ideas, a title for my book, and ChatGPT won over my ideas. But that's okay. I don't have a problem with that. Next, you utilize social media strategically and then build your email community. Now, when you post a blog, you put it on social media and your website, right? But uh, do you have an email database for your company? So once you create your blog post and simultaneously at the same time you're posting to social media and your website, you should be emailing that blog post, that article, to all the people that you have on your email list. Okay, and cultivate your KLT factor. Now remember, this is not the KFC factor, it's KLT, right? So what does KLT mean? Right? It means know, like, and trust. So the more blog posts you make, the more it sounds like you're the expert or you know what you're talking about, that people are going to know you, because it's like, here's the person that's, making these blogs. And, if it's personable, they're going to like you. And then maybe they might take your advice. And then there's a trust factor. So you you want to do that as small business owners. If you have the know, like, and trust factor and you're doing good, then that's just great, because we like to see that. So what you miss, well, you didn't miss anything if you're watching this live, or uh, you're watching it on a repeat. And we like to broadcast our Zoom webinar on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So we've given a whole bunch of webinars on different marketing subjects in the past, and it's available on our website. So although you missed the live version, you didn't miss anything, because you could still watch it. Uh, you don't need a Netflix account or anything like that. You go to our website, select which one you want, and watch it whenever you want. So I'll give you the website address later. And what's coming up? By the way, I have the schedule here. So our marketing webinars, Ask the Expert series. The next one, we have social AI. It's about posting and marketing success for everyone. And then the next one is messaging, better communication. And messaging is email and text mainly. Then after that, AI publishing, tell your story in a book. And I got some case studies. I think I have about 10 books out. None of them so far are written by AI or with AI, because those are books that I've already had in the pipeline. But I have one that I've not published yet. Well, majority of the book is written by AI, because they did all the research. So the next webinar is AI publishing newsletters. So there's a book publishing, one webinar, and there's publishing newsletters. Retain interested and informed customers. Then the next webinar after that is have fun sharing awareness of the unknown. And that's all about webinars, giving webinars like what we're doing now. We'll just share our story. And then after that, we have a whole bunch of my AI webinars. So personal assistant, uh, great socializer, unlimited personal marketing, game-changing business partner, and unique gift every person and business needs. And what that is your own AI. I'm in the process of, like I said, training my AI. It's like called Lance AI or Lance Building Expert AI or something like that. And I'm gonna have my own avatar and all that. It's like fun. I always wanted like my own cartoon character, but this is even better. And Martin's working on his too. So here's our website, expertmediamatters.com on the top, and then our webinar website is askmarketingexperts.now.site. That website is huge. It has uh, replay videos on demand. It has a bunch of publications. It has takeaways. A lot of good stuff in there. And then I'm excited to let you know I'm inviting you to join Best Hawaii Business Directory. Now, it's not only me inviting you, Martin is also inviting you. And I asked Martin, how much should we charge? And he said, what do you mean charge? We give plenty of stuff free, so just make it free. Oh, okay. So join now for free. The Best Hawaii Business Directory, besthawaiibusinessdirectory.com. And you heard of the yellow pages, right? So this is the online yellow pages. We have 140,000 business listings. This is the biggest directory in Hawaii. So sign up, go online, join, get a listing. Now, if you want a bigger listing, then it's not free. You have to upgrade, but I'm not really promoting the paid one. I'm just trying to get everybody to join for free right now. And then our directory is actually published by Small Business Hawaii. And this is a networking association of business owners. And we formed it to network, share ideas, and help promote businesses in Hawaii. So we have smallbusinesshawaii.now.site if you want to visit our website. And by the way, for the Maui business owners, any Maui business owner, okay, not only can you join free in the business directory, you get to upgrade to the next category, which is $10 a month for free, absolutely free. So take advantage of that because we're doing it to support the entire island of Maui because of the devastating wildfire. So use AI to your advantage. Use AI, no wondering why. You don't have to wonder anymore because you can use AI to help you create websites, lead generation, social media posts, blog posts, and much, much more. And that's what I'm doing right now. Martin and I are just going gangbusters. And we're at the end of the question and answer. So you got questions, we got answers. So our names are up on the screen, our number is there, and our emails is there. So before I open it up to question and answers, I just, on behalf of Martin and myself, I want to extend our appreciation to those of you who are watching. You know, you had other things to do besides watching us talk and give a webinar on blogging and using AI. So we appreciate you attending. If you're live, we also appreciate you watching our replay video on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And if you have any comments, please post them or questions, and we'll get to you. You know, because it's not going to be posted live, we'll read it and respond. We respond to every single post or comment or question and try to give you the answers. So before I get to the Q&A, I just want you guys to know that I have 3 different blogs. Okay, one for real estate, one for my building expert, and the other one for my expert witness. So, which means I got 3 different websites. Well, I have more than that because 2 of my websites, Ask the Building Expert and National Building Expert, we use the same blog. And our blogs are posted weekly. So there's a lot of content that we're pushing out. And we like to do that to help people. We don't have a subscription to our blog. There's no fee. There's no fee we charge to read each blog. We don't have a yearly subscription where people join and they have access to our blog. We don't have that. So it's all free online. So want to open it up at this time to any questions that anybody has, and we'll be able to answer them. So Martin, we'll bring you back.
Okay, I'm back on audio, and we had some questions a little bit earlier. So this first one is it's a two-parter. Let me give you the first part of the question. It says, I'm intrigued by the idea of using AI for content generation. Can you provide more insights into how bloggers can maintain their unique voice and style while leveraging AI tools for content creation?
Okay, so you first think of an idea, and then you use AI to generate sample articles for your blog, and then you may have to keep doing it a while before you really get to what you really want to say. Or if the majority of the content in the blog post is good enough for you, you just add in a few things, change some words or whatever, and then voila, it's done. So you got to remember that what message do you want to get across, and is that message or information in the article, does it sound like you talking, right? It has to sound like you talking, unless if you're the business owner and you hire uh, somebody to do the blog post, then maybe you want it in that person's voice. If it's the marketing director of the company, or sales director, or social media person or whatever. So that's a start. You start and then continue on and see how things go. You might have to change things along the way. If you find that your audience is not building up, then you may have to switch some things up. But don't expect to put one blog out and all of a sudden think it's going to work. You have to be consistent in doing that. It's sort of like radio and TV. And the adage is it takes 7 times for somebody to see the message before they get it. So that means 7 of the commercial, whether it's radio or TV, before people actually understand it and get the message. So if you're doing it once or 5 times, that's not good enough. So you just got to keep doing it.
Okay, thank you, Lance. The second part of the question then here is, are there specific strategies to balance automation with the personal touch that defines a blogger's identity?
Well, here's what I do, and it's sort of like a contest, and I like to kind of play the game. So what I do is I write my own blog article myself, and then I ask ChatGPT to do it, and I compare the two and see whose one is better. And lately, so far, the ChatGPT is better than my homemade written ones, although uh, the game's not over yet. So, and then you could actually merge the two together and see, uh, if you can come up with an even better blog article. So there's no rule of thumb. There's no law that says you either write your own or you use AI to write one. I mean, you can use both, right? And then when you merge the two together, then you can run it through another time and see what else you can get, right? Um, and then another idea is you take that one article and you ask ChatGPT, can you make 2 or 3 other blog posts or blog articles pertaining to this one article? Try different methods and see what you can get. It's kind of an experiment. You got to have some time, but it's kind of fun too. Sometimes it gets frustrating, and sometimes it's like, whoa, this thing cranked out, 3 to 4 articles from one. Yeah, I like that. So I wrote one. So let's say I'm doing one a week. So I write one article and I got 3 more to go. Then I'll have one every week. So we put that in and ask ChatGPT, can you make 3 more different articles but similar about the same subject? And then it cranks it out. And if we like it, then all of a sudden now we have 4 blog articles that we can use. So we're done for this month. Now let's work on articles for next month. So I have in the pipeline articles for several months already, but we're fine tuning them. And so I like to be ahead of the game. I don't like scrambling going, well, it's already next week coming up and I don't have an article yet. So I like to have articles in the pipeline and just say, okay, just set it to be released on these dates. So we also use a platform where we load our social media posts in and blog posts, and at a certain day and time it gets published. So we don't have to worry about, so it's like automation, and that's a good thing because I could be on vacation and I know that my social media platforms, my websites are gonna have my blog posts and social media articles. I don't have to worry about, oh, I'm out of town, so I guess my audience won't get the blog this week or even next week. So that's a good thing, automation. It
Yeah.
costs money, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
So
And
any other comments or questions?
yeah, well, I just wanted to make a brief comment on this, and what you're addressing is the quantity of blogging content. But what I want addressed in terms of the quality of content, which AI can do for you, and it depends on the quality of the AI tools that you're using. But part of AI is the machine learning, and as it does things for you, it's learning your style, your what you're interested in, and so the AI is actually continuing to learn. That's a machine learning part in order to create the content for you. So that's something that's important that AI can do for you and continue to learn your personality, your style, your communication methods, and continue to use that in other communications as you go forward. So that's the important thing that AI brings to the table. It's not just the quantity, but the quality through its machine learning. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad you brought that up because just recently, maybe a couple of days ago, uh, we were trying to come up with some articles, or I think it was a press release. Okay, and let me deviate a little. Um, in Waikiki, there was a hotel railing collapse. So my construction management company, I decided to uh, create a press release specific to that incident. And so we went on ChatGPT, and um, it's been trained already. So when the words came up like concrete spalling and rebar and all that, the AI already knew these terms, and they're the ones that gave it back to me. And I'm like, whoa, I must be a good trainer because the AI knows all this stuff. So it's very helpful that when it's trained, it knows all this stuff, and that's good because it saves me a lot of time. The other thing that I got excited about is the, the creation of the Lance AI building expert. I don't know really what the title is, I forget. But I want to use it as like a chat bot, and I'm gonna create an avatar. And I don't know at what point, but when people go on and ask questions regarding buildings and all that, the chat bot is going to respond because I don't have time to go on and chat, physically go on the chat and start chatting with people. So I want to use that. Now, it's only the people in my inner circle will have access to it, but the general public won't. And I haven't figured out how to do the public thing yet. But it's still in the works. So the exciting part is now I have somebody to talk to, although albeit it's a computer AI that knows pretty much what I know, not 100%, but good enough to engage in the conversation. Um, and it's kind of strange because I'm so used to talking to people, right? I talk to other engineers, hey, what about this? What about that? But here I am talking to a computer, right? That knows stuff. But that's fine because the reason why this computer knows stuff is because of me. We've been training it. So some parts of it is scary, but some parts of it is good too. And of course, we're just using it for all good works. And I'm only in the construction building industry. I know that people are doing the same thing in the medical field, aeronautics, automobile, whatever. It's just wide open. It's kind of crazy right now, but
Yep, you're
I'm
right.
looking forward to seeing what's coming up in the future, especially in the medical and health field. That's going to be very helpful. So sorry I digressed into that, but I wanted to relate the story about this AI and chat GPT.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, Lance. That's the whole value of AI is that it's going to, I mean, it's capturing your short-term memory, the long-term memory, and creating all that information for you. So the more you feed it all the past understandings and skills and experience you have, it'll learn that, and that's what's happening in other industries, and that's the power of AI. It's revolutionizing other industries. You just got to be open to what it's going to be doing. Yeah. So anyway,
Well,
let me go
I
on to the
just
next question.
thought about something. If you train AI, like we got these self-driving cars, right, which hasn't been perfected yet. So if this AI that's trained to drive like you and itself, I mean, there's so many bad drivers. I don't see that happening, right? You're using AI to self-drive your car and you trained it. I hope that never happens. But anyway, sorry to interrupt. What's the next question
Yeah.
you
Next
got?
question is oh, it looks like it's a two-parter too. Yeah. So let me give you the first part. The discussion on ethical considerations in AI, which you kind of touched on, was enlightening. And as bloggers, how can we ensure that the AI tools we integrate into our strategies adhere to ethical standards? Good question.
Okay, so for one, when you ask AI to create something for you, right? That's called prompting. So you have to prompt the AI for good use. And when let's say it goes haywire and it starts hallucinating and giving you back a whole bunch of gobbledygook or something like off the wall that's not even pertaining to the subject matter, whatever. That's you still need a human. You can't depend on the AI to do everything and then create a blog post and then post it. You still have to review it and agree that it's the content you want in your own voice. So the the key here is you stay away from anything political unless you're a political blogger, right? Um, but if you're blogging in general for your business, you stay out of politics. You don't talk about religion. You don't talk about sex, pornography, any kind of negative, bad things, dark web stuff, all that stuff. Okay, in general. Now, if you're a business or a person that your business is talking about some kind of health thing or whatever, then it's really specialized, right? And your audience expects to hear uh those that information from you in that category. But in general, like if you look at hundreds of my blog posts, if you read it, you're not going to find anything about politics, religion, sex, or anything like that. Mine is all clean. Now, once in a while, I post on Facebook as a joke something political, but that's not connected with my blog thing. And people who know me know that when I go on Facebook, you're gonna see some humorous posts and all that, and that's just what I like to do for entertainment. But just keep it clean and simple. So what the adage is, if you don't want your own mother to be reading it, then write something nice, right? If you know that your mother or somebody close to you is going to read it and go, "What are you talking about?" Then that's not the post that you should be making on a blog or social media. So that's the key. It's kind of common sense, and I try and stay away from. Um, there's nothing wrong with politics, but sometimes it gets really crazy, and it's going to get crazy. You watch because it's election year, and I don't even want to be involved in reading all that crap. And I use that term loosely, but I got other priorities, right? So hopefully that answered the question.
Yeah, and you may have answered the second part of the question, but I'll just ask it to to make sure if you have any other comments on it. Are there specific guidelines or practices you recommend to mitigate potential biases and maintain transparency with the audience? With
Yeah, along the same lines that I mentioned. I mean, try to keep it clean. I don't know if you know Howard Stern, but if you ever saw him on TV or heard him on the radio, that guy's like going off on a tangent. So, we try not to use swear words and, keep it clean. What I tell people is that, if you go to church or you have a pastor, a minister, and if that person read the blog, if they're gonna get upset because you wrote that, then maybe that's not something that you should be writing about. But it's all over. It's all over the internet. So, and it's hard, very hard. Sometimes my post on social media gets hijacked and it goes off in another direction, and I just have to. And then it's two Facebook friends of mine arguing with each other, and um, fortunately, the team that I have monitors all my social media, and they have they have instructions. If it's something that is not wanted, I don't have to tell them to go and delete it or whatever. They just do it, and people complain, "Hey, what happened? I was arguing with this person, and you deleted my post." I go, "Oh, I didn't delete it." They go, "Well, who did then? That's your Facebook account." Then I explained to them I have a whole team that monitors my social media because I don't have time in the day to be on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and look at all my posts, right? So And that's why I have to tell people, if you posted something and I didn't respond, sorry, it may take me 3 days or a week to get to it. I got Facebook messages that I haven't responded to for 3 weeks.
Hmm.
So it's just one of those things. And I tell people, if it's important, email me, right? Or call me or whatever. Don't expect me to respond right away because I got it's all backlogged. So anyway, did I answer the two part or was it just the one part?
No, I think you did. Unfortunately, we're talking people and humanity sometimes, and there's unfortunately the light and the dark sides that somehow get brought up, and address starts getting into morality and philosophy issues and all those kind of things. So yeah,
Well, that's why, yeah, that's why I got to get my chat bot up. So then, if anything happens, I just blame the chat bot. So I don't know. It's just that Lance AI thing went haywire. It's not really me.
yeah. The other thing too is that I mean, even from a business standpoint, there's um, sometimes you have to talk about regulatory and compliance issues and those kind of things that affect businesses, and then that's another thing that can be affected, in your publications, communications, all that stuff. And what's interesting is the software, one of the software that we have has compliance checking kind of information and capabilities with the AI for the particular networking and marketing industries that are specialized in. So it's an attempt, I guess, to try to maintain, ethical type of issues within certain industries too. Yeah. So okay, we get one more question, and it may get back to something you've already addressed, but let me ask it. Is simple question, and it's probably our quantity issue again. Is how often do you post on your blogs?
On my various blogs, there's a blog post once a week. So we try and stick to that schedule as much as possible. Um, if you can, I mean, if you can't post once every couple weeks or once a month, but I've seen websites where I go on their blog and there's the last post that was made was in 2021 or something. So at least keep your blogs active. So if you start it, don't wait too long, right? If you post like once a month or once every 2 months, at least you're posting, but don't just abandon it because it just looks very unprofessional when you do that. Or put a note saying, we'll continue to blog soon or whatever the reasoning is. So anyway, I know we're out of time. So on behalf of Martin and myself, ask the marketing experts. If you have any other comments or questions, post it on the social media platforms that you're watching, and I will be happy to respond back to you. Martin, any other last words before we sign off?
No, I think it's just get to be aware of what's happening with AI because it will affect you in either your business for sure, and eventually your social activities and everything else that you do, because just about every industry will be changing in the next months and years with the AI power. Yeah. So
Okay, good. So appreciate everybody attending. I know we got people from not only Hawaii, from throughout the United States and even parts of the world, which is interesting, and we really appreciate that. So we're signing off, and we'll see you on the internet at the next webinar. Aloha. Thank you.
aloha.